It was the mid 2010s. I was finishing high school at the time, and my taste in games was taking shape. I loved story based games, ones with strong narratives, ones that could make you care about the characters, and ultimately, ones that could make you cry. So you can imagine my excitement when I kept hearing about the RPG Maker game that was all of those things in one. To the moon. Overwhelmingly positive on Steam, a story considered absolutely beautiful. So in high school, I got it while it was on sale and never played it. For 10 years, this game has sat in my Steam library gathering e-dust. I told myself that I would play it when the time was right. I'm not sure what makes now the right time, but I did play it. And it was
Short steps, deep breath. Everything is alright. Chin up, I can't step into the spotlight. She said, I'm sad.
The game has us taking control of two doctors/scientists, Dr. Neil Watts and Dr. Ava Rosalind, both employees of Sigmund Corp who are tasked with meeting clients and helping them fulfill their dying wishes. The game is a bit dated. It's an RPG Maker game from the 2010s, so the sprite work, character movement, and especially the menus are all reminiscent of that. Dated, but I guess a bit nostalgic. There are also puzzles sprinkled throughout, but they're not very meaningful and don't really have an impact on the game as a whole. And then there's the writing. Yeah, it's definitely a product from the 2010s. Some parts of this game haven't aged particularly well, some of the writing can be a bit random or cringy, but this is really only a problem for a handful of scenes. Because once the writing gets to the emotional or deep parts, that's where it really starts to shine. Watts and Rosalind have been hired by their client Johnny to help him achieve his last dying wish, send him to the moon. Not literally, but in his memories. Our characters have a special device that allows them to dive into the memories and psyche of their clients, letting them rewrite what they remember. We come into this story as an outsider, just like our two playable characters. We know nothing about Johnny, his life, or why he wants to go to the moon. But as we dive into Johnny's experiences, everything starts to come together. We travel backwards from the moment we meet Johnny, finding memories and threads that connect his life together. First meeting him as an old man, living only with his maid and her children, then we meet River, his late wife. As we're traveling backwards in time, we see how River's medical condition puts a strain on their relationship. Johnny loves her deeply, but struggles with the decision he's forced to make. The further back we go, the more we see the life they actually shared. Them riding horses together, their relationship before River's condition became so severe, even the genuine moments of happiness, having their first date, the first time Johnny asked River out. And at the same time, we're watching those memories disappear every time we go backward. Now, I am going to go over spoilers for this game, so if you care about spoilers for a 15-year-old game, go play it. It's not that long. Eventually, we hit a wall. We aren't able to access Johnny's childhood memories. Something has been buried so deeply that even the technology can't access it. And we eventually learn why. After the accident that killed his twin brother, Johnny was put on beta blockers to suppress the trauma, and as a result, much of his childhood became inaccessible to him. And that's when the game finally gives us a chance to answer the question we've been asking this whole time. Why does Johnny want to go to the moon? As a child, Johnny met River for the first time, where they shared a moment after sneaking away from the crowd of the local fair. They look at the beauty of the moon and the stars in the night sky. They made a promise to each other, to meet back up again next year, that same exact spot. If one of them forgets, gets lost, or doesn't show up, well, how will they ever see each other again? They'll meet each other on the moon. We already know that Johnny ends up meeting again with River. We've essentially lived through their whole life together with them, seeing all of their heartfelt memories. But now we can see the path that gets Johnny to the moon. If Johnny and River never meet up again as children, if they were separated, the promise is what will drive him. And that's the problem. Johnny's real life didn't happen that way. He met River again, they got married, they spent a happy life together. But in order to fulfill his wish, we have to erase all of that. When we first meet him, Johnny couldn't explain why he wanted to go to the moon. He doesn't consciously remember the promise he made to River. He doesn't even know what he's looking for. But after seeing his childhood memories, I couldn't help but feel that some part of him did remember. His mind may have forgotten, but his heart hasn't. In the present, now that River has passed and Johnny is on his deathbed, this is his only chance to see her again. That promise they made as children. This is the only thing Johnny has to see the woman he loves once more. In order to see her one more time, we have to erase the memories of everything that they were. There's a beautiful irony in everything that we're doing. Rosalind keeps River and Johnny apart, and this pushes Johnny on the path to join NASA and get to the moon. We see those real memories that Johnny had get overwritten. Johnny doesn't watch a movie with River, he watches it with his friend, and brother who's not dead anymore. They never go horseback riding together. Eventually, we realize we're watching the memories of the most important relationship he'll ever have disappear, one by one. We see Johnny as a young adult in front of NASA, now ready to start his training to be an astronaut. And who else is there, keeping their end of the promise, but none other than River. This new memory isn't real. Johnny didn't live his life this way, his brother isn't really alive, and they didn't actually meet at NASA like this. None of this is real. But does that make it all meaningless? I don't think so. Their love isn't a lie. The promise they kept wasn't a lie. The lie is simply how we got here. And it's a beautiful lie. In this constructed memory, they kept a promise since childhood. More than a decade of waiting and working towards something, only to be reunited with the person you love once again. It took me 10 whole years to get around to playing To the Moon. The humor is dated, the gameplay is kind of just there, the presentation is a product of its time, and I don't think I'd call To the Moon a perfect game. But none of that changes the fact that I sat in front of my computer, emotional and teary-eyed, as I rewrote this man's entire life. I've thought to myself, would I ever go back and change the things I've done in my life? Ultimately, I tell myself no, because I don't regret what's happened in my life. It's all gotten me to where I am today. But then I think of Johnny. I don't think he regretted anything about his life with River, but when given the chance, he would rewrite his past to find the woman he loved one last time. After spending 10 years knowing this game existed, I finally realized why people still remember it. Underneath all of this, there's a story about something much simpler than rewriting memories and jumping into people's minds. It's about wanting to find someone you've lost. And trying to find someone you've lost will always hurt.